Good afternoon, everybody. It is 4 o'clock on March 24th. I'm Rich, and welcome to the stream. I appreciate everybody who is here today. We're going to have some 7-point singleton action today, but with a catch. Both of our players played in the March event with 0 points in their decks. So that is definitely something that we're looking forward to, and should be pretty fun. So if you're new to the stream, thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate you being here. Don't forget to follow. You can join me each week for my regularly scheduled stream. I play 3 rounds of Old School Magic each and every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern as part of the Tuesday Night Gauntlet with the Northern Paladins. I'd also have some special streams coming up, so don't forget to join me later on today, 8 p.m. Eastern. I will be playing Mirage Block Constructed, so I'm looking forward to that. That should be pretty fun. That is paper Magic. That is not Magic Online. And then tomorrow at 1:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central European Time, we will be playing X-Point Old School. So what X-Point Old School is, using the Atlantic Banned and Restricted list for Old School Magic. And then cards are assigned point values, similar to 7-point Singleton, except this isn't Singleton. The X in X-Point Singleton represents the fact that there is a variable, and it is possible that the points will change from month to month. Currently, X is 7, so there are 7 points allowed in X-Point Old School right now. Making its debut on my stream debut of Pre-Modern will be at 7 o'clock Eastern, that's midnight Central European Time, on Friday the 26th, and I am looking forward to that. So, 7-point Old School Singleton. We've got a whole bunch of cards that have a point value, but because of the fact that the players who are playing today are playing with 0 points, none of these cards are going to be used. So, hey, gentlemen, welcome to the stream, and thank you for allowing me to stream the match today. Looking forward to this. So, what made you guys decide to play with 0 points?
Oh, should I go first?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I had this idea first for a deck which was, red, green, black, where I should use Bartle Runax and a few of the legends. And then, there are quite many cards to choose from.
Right.
So as I progressed, I still had problems choosing cards.
Mm-hmm.
But when he announced 0 points, I just took out the point cards, and then it became quite easy to make the deck. I made just a nice aggressive red green with some splash of black, and
Well,
it was made it so much easier to make the deck. So
you're
and
using the card in old school that I think has the most amazing artwork, and that is Zera Arian, and it's all three of your colors. So that is pretty cool. So and then we've got Matt Stack, which has some interesting choices here. What do we got going on over there?
Yeah. Oh, there are some exotic cards, I think. I never saw some of them into play, like the Elephant Graveyard. So far, I've never seen it played. And I discovered some powerful cards too that I recently acquired, like Diamond Valley. I'm totally stunned by the power of this.
Mm-hmm.
It's single-handedly wins games.
yeah,
I
it's a strong
won
card.
a match just
Well,
with this
both
card.
of these decks look fun, gentlemen. So I'm going to mute
Yeah.
myself, and you guys can go ahead and start playing. Have you decided who's going first yet?
Yeah, he's
I
going
won
first.
the toss.
Okay. All
I
right.
won the
Well,
toss, so I'll
hope
go
you have a good
first.
game, guys. All right.
Okay,
Yeah,
thanks.
thank you. Good
Yeah.
luck.
I'll do this.
Yeah.
Well, hoping for a good game, and Entrox, thank you for joining the stream. I appreciate it. Shout out to Entrox. If you have not done so, make sure that you follow Entrox here on Twitch. There's a clip from his stream up there on your screen right now. And Entrox will be playing in the finals of the Pendlehaven Cup tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. So after my event at 8 p.m., go ahead and stop on over to his stream tonight. Thanks for joining us, man. I appreciate that. So it looks like they are getting their hands ready, and then we are about ready to go. So this should be fun. Hoping for a good match. Now, next month in 7 Point Singleton, Entrox, thank you very much for gifting the sub to Damien. I definitely appreciate that. So next month for 7 Point Singleton, no points are allowed in the April League. So this is kind of like a precursor to that. So I'm hoping that this will give some people some ideas for decks. And when you watch me play in the April League, which is starting here pretty soon, I'll be also playing a deck that is 0 points. So that definitely should be fun. So it looks like they're both taking mulligans. Mulligans in Singleton is pretty tough because of the fact that when you tuck your card after the mulligan, chances are you're never going to see it again, especially with both of these decks, because there are no ways to really shuffle with these decks, so if a card is put down on the bottom, it is going to be on the bottom for good. So let's hope that we don't have too many mulligans and we can see what these guys have got going on and play some magic. So we've got David on your right there and Matt on the left. Won't keep me from destroying your land tax on Tuesday. Oh, okay. All right. So what David is doing is a little bit different than the three-pile cut. What he's doing is he's fanning out his deck, and then he's moving his finger along and asking the opponent to make him stop where he wants to cut, which is an interesting way to do it. It is pretty cool. All right, so looks like we are going to be underway. All right, and putting the cards underneath. And Matt is going first, I do believe, so here we go. All right, Bayou and then go. So. Ooh, okay. So Elves of Deep Shadow is nice out of David's deck because of the fact that it is one of the accelerators in the deck. And there are very, very few ways to accelerate in 7 Point Singleton. especially when you don't have any points. So getting an early mana dork is pretty good. Oh, and a Mishra's Factory as well. Alright, might as well attack for that one, right? Oh no, he's tapping it for mana. Alright, took point of his own. Ankh of Mishra. Not exactly. Oh, he did attack with it. Okay. Alright, so he did attack. Okay. So on David's screen, the blue die represents Matt's life total. And Matt has his own life totals over there on his screen. So, okay, so there's a land and two more. Gentlemen, there's already a life total discrepancy. The attack with the elf should have brought Matt down to 19, and then he took 2 from the Ankh, which brings him down to 17. And Matt, you have David at 19 and yourself at 18. All right, we got that fixed. So, bit of confusion. I mean, there's some confusion for me as well. So, we will. We've got that fixed, so that should be good now. All right, so David has to take 2 points from his own Ankh. Crumble on the factory. All right, no life gained, and the factory is gone. So, not sure what. Crumble on a factory doesn't allow anybody to gain any life because a factory has a mana cost of 0. Okay, so life totals are now 15 to 18. Man untaps. Let's see what else he's got. He's had some pretty gassy cards so far. Alright, Diamond Valley is a land, so he's going to take some damage there. But Diamond Valley is a way to gain some life. So we'll see what happens. Oh, Swords of Plowshares on the Elf. Okay. Alright, so yeah, Matt's got all kinds of things going on. So the Ankh might end up backfiring on David. So we'll see what happens. King Solomon getting in there for 1. And he's getting in there again. So, fun fact, back when I first started playing Magic, I was attacked and killed by 20 consecutive attacks from a Royal Assassin because, yeah, I couldn't do anything. My deck was terrible. But I was playing a 100-card deck with like 20 lands in it. So, against a deck that was playing land destruction, hand disruption, and you know, creature destruction. So the King Solomon just reminds me of that. So. All right, so now we got an Ironclaw Orcs on David's side of the table. So that's a nice little 2/2. Birds of Paradise. That is a nice altar of a Birds of Paradise. When it comes to 7-point old school Singleton, proxies are allowed as a proxy-friendly event. They are webcam events after all, so you will possibly see proxies both on in either of the decks or any of my opponents that I play in the league. Matt is showing his opponent that he has one, and then they're just going to swap it out, which is fine. Again, there's nothing wrong with having the proxy on the stream or in his deck whatsoever. Alright, Granite Gargoyle. 2/2 flyer, and for 1 red you pump its toughness. So that could end up stymieing some of Matt's creatures. But we will see. We'll see how that goes. Now that the Ironclaw Orcs is going to continue to go sideways, I would assume. Aeolipile. Alright. So that's some direct damage. Might as well get that gargoyle while David is tapped out and doesn't have the red to pump its toughness. So still a pretty close game. Alright, Ironclaw getting in there again. Matt down to single digits, down at 9 life. Grizzly Bear, mighty Grizzly Bear. 2/2 for 2. Beautiful art there by Jeff Menges. Had the opportunity to meet Jeff last year. Last year at the beginning of the year, pre-COVID, Jeff was the artist who was at GloryCon in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. So that was pretty cool to be able to meet him. All right, 5 mana, something big. Yes, that is something big. Sorry, I do not remember her name. She is a vanilla legendary creature. Is that Jasmine? Is that what was that? Is that what she is? Yeah, Jasmine Boreal. So. 4/5. Vanilla 4/5. So she is kind of like an Urnamjin, but with 1 mana cost extra and doesn't give anything Forest Walk. Alright, so Elvish Archer came in to join the party. Famously, it was misprinted in Alpha, so the Elvish Archer is a 1/2 with First Strike in the Alpha printing, and then was changed to a 2/1 with First Strike for subsequent printings, beginning in Beta. David taking more damage from his own Ankh, down to 12. Copper Tablet. Alright, Copper Tablet could end up causing some problems. Each player takes a point of damage during their own upkeep. So, at max, with what is on the board, Matt has 6 more turns after this. And that's if he doesn't play a land. But, I mean, he does have the Diamond Valley, so no, he's got plenty. Especially with the Jasmine having a 5 toughness, that means that he can gain 5 life at any point in time. I think he's in the tank right now. I mean, there's only 4 power worth of blockers on David's side, so Jasmine might as well turn sideways and get in there. He's going to take it. Wow. Alright, so David is down to 8. So I'm wondering if David is going to try for an Alpha Strike and is forgetting about that Diamond Valley. Yeah, that's a Copper Tablet. And yes, it is definitely looking pretty good right now. Alright, so swinging in right now. So that's 6 damage coming in. So Matt is going to have to either block or deal with one of the creatures at least. But he's going to have to activate his Diamond Valley before his upkeep, more than likely. So there's a block, gain a life. Okay, so he blocks 2 of the creatures, he's taking 2. But gains a life for the Diamond Valley. Alright, so we'll see what happens here, because Jasmine is going to swing in for a hard hit for 4. And that is definitely a lot of damage, especially since David is down to 7. He takes 4, then he would take another on his upkeep. That would mean that he would be down to 2, could not play a land, and then would have to contend with the fact that his own copper tablet could end up killing him. Okay, he's down to 3. Four mana. Oh, for a Howl from Beyond. Oh, so that's for 7. Howl from Beyond gives +3/+0. So that would be for 7, which would... Okay, so Dave is going to crumble in response so that he doesn't die. Okay. Alright, so he's crumbling on the copper tablet so he doesn't take the damage on his upkeep, going up to 9, and then he's going to take 7 from Jasmine, bringing him down to only 2 life. So, but that does mean that Matt is going to have to sacrifice that Jasmine here, because a lethal strike from David with these 3 creatures otherwise. So this is getting pretty interesting, not gonna lie. Alright, so untap. Copper tablet's gone, so no damage on the upkeep. Obviously, I'm assuming there's going to be a swing for 6 here, which will put David in the driver's seat. Alright, so Matt has to sack the Jasmine here, gaining 5 life, bringing him up to 9, then taking 6 down to 3. That Howl from Beyond was pretty cool. Alright, so that means that Matt should be down to 3, and David is at 2, and all kinds of fun going on here, because David cannot play another land now. Matt knocking on his deck, praying to the top deck gods. He could play a land here, and if you play something big, then he can block and then sacrifice it and still survive. That is a... Okay. Gosbon Ogre. That's something. It can block, and then he can sack, so he can mitigate 4 of the points of damage. But it doesn't get rid of anything that's on the table. Clinging to that 3 points of life, so the Gosbon Ogre stays on his side of the table. Alright, so yeah, there's going to be a block and a sacrifice here. It's the only way for him to survive. So block one of them, sacrifice, go up to 5, and then he takes 4, bringing him down to 1. If there's a pump spell, then yep, there it is. There's a giant growth. That is going to be the ball game. Yep, so that is going to be game 1 going to David. Yep. Players discussing exactly what that outcome is, and there we go. So, game 1 goes to David. Alright, so we saw pump spells in both decks end up having an effect on this game. The Howl from Beyond and the Giant Growth. So that was definitely pretty cool. Again, these are the decks while the players get ready to go for their next shuffle up for their next game. Blazer, nice. Goliath 0, David 1. Nice. Berserk, but still lethal. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sorry. I didn't see. I thought it was a giant growth, but either way, it was lethal. Yeah, he set it in a spot on his playmat where there was some glare. So these are the decks that they are playing here. So, I mean, Matt has some direct damage and has some removal in his deck. He saw a little bit, but not that much. And then David has, some damage in the Ankh and the Copper Tablet. And he's got the Falling Star, which could end up taking care of multiple creatures in one shot. In 7 points, Singleton, Falling Star can only go on to up to 2 creatures. So it can't be, if you have the awesome flippage skills, you're not going to be able to take out like 6 or 7 creatures all at once. But both of these decks look like they are pretty good and pretty evenly matched. So we will see what happens. But David was on the play last game, and it did not work out so well for him. So let's see what happens. But, I mean, both players did have to mulligan, and mulligans are definitely much more difficult when it comes to 7-point singleton, any kind of singleton format whatsoever, because of the fact that if you don't have ways to shuffle your deck, you don't have ways to get that card back. So it is gone for good. So let's see what we've got going on here. Jupiter, hi. Thanks for joining the stream. I appreciate you being here. So, David took game number 1 on the back of a pump spell, but it was pretty close because David had that Copper Tablet and the Ankh of Mishra on the table, which caused a lot of damage to both players. So, let's see what we've got. And that's the cool thing about these singleton matches, is that sometimes the games can be completely and totally different. And we'll just have to see what happens from here. Alright, so they have cut their decks, and they are going to their first hands, hoping that there aren't going to be any mulligans here, because, again, we don't like mulligans in Magic at all, but mulligans in Singleton are worse. Alright, so no mulligan, and we've got Taiga Kurdape. Great start for Matt with a 2-3 on turn 1. So, classic start in Magic, in an old school, and in just old Magic in general. Oh, well, there we go. Another Elves of Deep Shadow again out of David's opening hand. But I think that Kurdape is going to turn sideways, and is going to do so early and often. And that's 2 points down for David, bringing him down to 18. All right, so what is Matt going to follow up with? I'm hoping that he's going to play a land. There he goes, with a Badlands. So he has access to a bunch of different colors now. And then he passes. All right, so David thought about playing him out and then took it back. Going in the tank a little bit more. Now, best case scenario for David would be to play a land destruction spell. Alright, so he plays the Pendlehaven instead. Takes a point of damage from his elf, and then he plays... Oh, okay. He plays an Argothian Pixie, which is a 2-1 with that can't be targeted by artifacts, and all damage dealt to it from artifacts is reduced to 0. And then that is a Timberwolves. Now, Timberwolves is a 1-1 for 1 that has banding out of green. It is a rare from Alpha, Beta, Unlimited, Revised, and 4th edition. It is functionally identical to Banalish Hero out of whites, except it is a different color. Banalish Hero had the luxury of being a common, and Timberwolves was in fact a rare. But it has banding. So because it has banding, that means that on blocking, David can assign the damage. So if If David goes with a group block, he can group block and kill this, assign all the damage to the Timberwolves, and the Timberwolves would be dead, and the Curd Ape would be dead, and the Pixies would survive. Again, opting not to do that, so instead David just took the damage. With the Pendelhaven on the table, I can understand him maybe wanting to just hold back and keep some things on defense, or maybe go for a better offense. So he's got 4 damage swinging in right now. Pendelhaven will make it 5. And if that's all the damage, then the scores will be tied up. And just like that, tied up at 15, both players with 1/4 of their life total gone. Alright, and that is a Scarwood Elves, I believe. Scarwood Bandits. Or is it Scarwood Goblin? Scarwood Goblins? Maybe? Alright, so just an untap and pass for Matt, and David also untaps. He's taking a point from his own Elves of Deep Shadow for a black mana there. Ooh, 5. Pyrotechnics. Alright, that's nice. He can deal splits 4 damage among any number of targets. So I'm assuming he's going to go 3 to the Curd Ape and 1 to Matt. Yes. Alright, 14s each. And now swinging in for 4, bringing Matt down to 10. Yeah, one of the 2 gold cards from the Dark is the Scarwood Goblins. The other one, of course, is it's the black and green enchantment. Dark Heart of the Wood. Alright, Lightning Bolt on something. I would have thought he would have gotten rid of the Pixies, but getting rid of the Black Source somewhat makes sense as well. But the Pixies do some extra damage, so. Alright, so now Matt gets his white mana source, so now he can cast pretty much anything. Oh, Marsh Goblins too. I gotcha. Alright, so 4 more damage. 5 more damage coming in. Matt is on the hot seat here. Does he have anything that he can do? He's got the white, so he's going to use the Swords to Plowshares. David gains a life, and then Matt takes 3, unless he's got something else up his sleeve. Oh, he took 4. All right. So a bit of a mistake in timing from Matt. He could have mitigated an additional point of damage had he used that Swords to Plowshares in response to the Pendelhaven. But he is on his back foot here. Now, another land. Matt does not seem happy with that land. And from the looks of it, that was the card that he drew. So he might just have some, just not a great draw. I mean, he's facing down 5 points of damage and a giant growth, so, yeah. I think they're discussing exactly what's going on. And that is the game. So let's update that score, and then we will go in and we will talk to the players.
Or you could, yeah, well, you could pump more then.
Gentlemen,
Pump.
wow, that was those were some good games. It seemed, Matt, were you just drawing lots and lots of lands there? Is that what was going on?
I drew several. On the first game, I drew really much too many lands. I had 3 in hand
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the game, and I only had pumps and
Ah,
useless removals because I know David plays only 3 artifacts and 1 Mishra's Factory, so this was a dead card.
right.
And I had it stuck in my opening hand. So
Yeah.
I even if I didn't mulligan, I had 6 cards in the first hand.
Mm-hmm. I mean, with that
Doesn't-
Curdy on turn 1, that was pretty good. I thought
Yeah,
that
I
you were going
was-
to be doing some good things with that, but
Yeah, I hoped for really Channel Fireball style. But
that would have been great, right?
Yeah, but he never drew another creature. So
Yeah.
that was
Yeah,
the
I
only
never got
creature
the
he drew in the
second
whole
one.
game.
Yeah, and
So,
David, you just had
that-
creature after creature after creature, so.
Yeah, but that's the deck, right? It's got like 25 creatures or something. So, yeah, no, but they're not big, but they try to swarm as quickly as possible.
Right, right. As
Yeah.
they're not big, but when you have to deal with 3 or 4 creatures
big
at the same
bird here.
time, especially with 0 points. So it's not like a fireball can come out and just do a point to one, a point to another, and a point to a third. So it would have to be something else, either blocking in combat or something along those lines. So.
Yeah.
If only I had played Earthquake, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot to add it.
Well,
Earthquake would have been
This could have
fine.
gotten rid of it.
Pyrotechnics
Yeah, so
would have
but-
been good too.
Pyrotechnics, yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
so
really-
but I knew you
really
didn't play
efficient
with
card.
Earthquake or Pyrotechnics, so I wasn't too afraid of that. So in that respect, it was a good matchup for me because he didn't have many Winnie Sweepers.
Yeah,
So-
I had approximately the same number of creatures, but it was a little more mana heavy on my side.
Yeah, so
And,
if you could
color-
stabilize the board, you would be able to.
Yeah, I
overpower
mean,
it.
you had the mana to cast everything, but you just kept on drawing mana, which was
The big ones
definitely
never came.
unfortunate there.
Yeah. So well, the first game was a real game where things.
Yeah.
shifted
Yeah, that
back
was
and
nice,
forth.
and that was back and forth, which was really cool. And the fact that both of you guys got to play some pump spells that turned the tide in the game, that was rather interesting too. All right, well, gentlemen, thank you for allowing me to stream the games. I appreciate it. Congratulations, David. And then, are you guys playing in April?
Yeah, I'm playing.
yeah, of course.
All right.
So,
Of course.
All right.
Trying to
So
tune my
yeah,
deck,
this is your time to
okay.
shine with 0 points in April. So
yeah. See if you are
That's
up.
now.
all right, thanks guys. You have a great night. Take care. Bye.
Yeah, you too, guys. Bye.
Bye.
All right, so there you have it, everybody. David ended up winning that. So we're about to end the stream for now, but come back later today at 8 p.m. Eastern. I will be playing another round of Mirage Block Constructed Paper Magic. So I'm looking forward to that, and that should be pretty cool. So I'm looking. Mirage is the time period where I got started. I really like Mirage Block Constructed. I don't know if my deck is any good. I lost to a bunch of 4/4s last week, so we'll see what happens this week. So with that, I thank you all for joining the stream, and I will see you next time. Thank you.